always heard that asking about Grandpa was forbidden. The moment I uttered the word grandfather, Dad would snap. His eyes darkened, his jaw clenched. And every time I heard the same thing. He's no longer part of this family. Period. I only saw Grandpa twice as a child. I was too young to remember much, just fragments. The smell of charred meat, smoke curling from his pipe bowl, a silence that clung to the air like wet wool. The only thing I recall clearly is how enormous he seemed. Or maybe I was just small. Mum would pull me away, quick, firm. When I turned 18 and moved to the city for college, I found myself digging through Dad's old things. Amid bills and expired licenses, a yellowed envelope. A letter from a town called Lowdell. Return address, George and Marilyn Arder. The name George brought back the smoke. I don't know why I went there. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe something else. Forbidden fruit. It tastes sweet, right? I decided to meet my grandfather. Lowdell was a speck. One gas station, one diner. Houses like broken teeth down winding roads. The red house stood at the end of a gravel path, framed by bare trees, wrapped in silence. Good Lord Almighty! My favorite grandson. God, it's good to see you. Grandpa was enormous. Brown flannel shirt stretched over his belly, pipe clenched between yellow teeth. His hug knocked the air out of me. Grandma stood behind him, neat hair, hollow smile. Her eyes said, "What have you done?" He gave me the tour. Furniture old but sturdy, curtains heavy, rooms dim. It smelled like smoke, meat, and something coppery. Things seemed normal. Grandpa smoked, laughed, carved wood. Neighborhood kids came by for stories. He was magnetic. They loved him. Except for one thing, his appetite. He ate constantly. Bacon, bread, entire pies. Once I watched him eat a rotisserie chicken. Before dinner. He groaned in pleasure, licked grease off his fingers. You always eat like this. Big man needs big meals, he grunted. I wanted to believe it, but I couldn't. One night, Grandma caught me in the hall. You need to leave, she whispered, while he's asleep, tomorrow. Before I could answer, heavy footsteps. Grandpa stepped out of the dark, pipe glowing, eyes empty. Everything all right?
Just telling him about my childhood, Grandma said too fast. Grandpa stared at us. The only light was from his burning pipe, the only sound, his breathing. This house has many stories, he said, then turned and vanished back into the dark. I barely slept that night. By morning, the fridge was empty. Grandpa sat at the table, licking his lips. Where's that woman gotten to? Starving over here. Grandma came back from town, arms full of groceries. She cooked while Grandpa growled, muttering, rocking in his chair. I told him I wasn't hungry. Watching him eat made me nauseous. I went into town, trying to clear my head, but something was off. In the store, the clerk and a woman whispered. Ben's lost another pig, she muttered. 6th one. Coyote? The clerk asked. When's the last time you saw a coyote around here? Sorry, I cut in. Animals are disappearing? You new here? The woman asked. First pigs, then goats, chickens, even dogs. What's left is just bones, gnawed, split open, like something sucked out the brains. But no one's seen an animal do it. No tracks, no blood. I couldn't breathe, didn't know what to say, because I had an idea. Back at the house, Grandpa was laughing again. Kids circled the porch. One girl, maybe 10, asked, "Mr. Arder, are you ever scared?" He smiled. "Only when the meat runs out." Everyone laughed, except me. That night, Grandma's voice cracked. "We're out of food, nothing left. No meat, no eggs, we can't." "Find more," Grandpa growled. "I'm starving." He didn't move, didn't even try. Later that night, I woke up thirsty. I flicked on the kitchen light and nearly screamed. Grandpa was still in his chair, sweating, trembling, staring at nothing. The pipe was gone, his lips bare. I'd never seen him without it. I thought he was dead. Then he spoke. "Get me food, boy." No warmth, no humor, just threat. "I'll go to the store in the morning." "Get me food." He didn't move. I turned off the light. All night I heard things. Growls, wet slithering, the door creaking open. At dawn, Grandpa was gone, the front door ajar. Grandma stood behind me. "Go, grandson, now. He won't be satisfied with store food. Pack your things and leave." "What's wrong with him?" I asked. "How can he eat so much?" "You don't want to know what happens when he stops." I hesitated. "Why do you stay?" "If no one controls him, it gets much worse." That morning, the town buzzed with news. A boy had vanished overnight. Only bones were found, clean, not a scrap of meat left. I knew what did it. That night, the kids came again, drawn like moths. Grandpa waited on the porch, bloated, sweating. His shirt clung to his belly like plastic wrap. He didn't rise to greet them. Blisters covered his hands, his jaw longer than before, his eyes empty. Grandma begged them to leave. "You don't understand," she wept. "This isn't a game. Go home." "Please, just one story," they cried. "Let 'em be," Grandpa said from behind. "Kids want stories." He shut the door. He swelled, grotesquely, didn't speak, couldn't stand. The kids giggled nervously, sitting around him. "Mr. Arder," one whispered, "don't tell our parents we came." "I won't tell," he rasped. His shirt ripped, hands swelled, mouth unhinged. He collapsed to all fours. His arms melted. Fat dripped like candle wax. His belly dragged on the floor. His face slid into a wet, jagged grin of meat and fangs. Grandma stepped between him and the children. "No more, George. If you want meat, take me." He didn't hesitate. One motion. Her head vanished into his mouth. The kids ran to the door. It was locked. I stood, frozen. I heard the chewing, the screams. Then, I ran. I didn't run at first, not really. I stumbled, tripped on a chair leg. The kids were screaming. One tried to pull another up, her little hands bloodied from the doorknob. The thing wearing Grandpa slithered forward, dragging its swollen gut across the floor like a sack of meat. His arms had become something else, disjointed, blackened, bone pushing through fat, claws where fingers should be. The poker was gone. Grandma, too. Only the sound of chewing remained, and the low, steady sound of laughter. One kid got the window open. Almost. She screamed as one of his arms lashed out and dragged her back. I turned. I ran. Didn't look. My foot slipped. I didn't want to know what it was. I smelled copper, bile, something hot like stomach acid. The air pulsed, heavy with rot and smoke and meat. Behind me, something roared. Starving. Chewing followed. Sucking. Something thudding against the wall. I made it to the attic, slid the bolt shut, pressed into the rafters. It was quiet. Then came the sniffing. Wet, slurping, a tongue tasting wood. Boy, come back. Feed your grandpa. I smell you. I covered my mouth and waited and waited until the silence started to rot. I crept down at dawn. Bones, blood, the smell of death. Grandpa was gone. Only a greasy stain remained. I ran, didn't stop, didn't look back. At breakfast, weeks later, I met Dad's eyes. Why didn't you tell me? He stirred his coffee. You weren't supposed to know that address. Blood calls to blood. What does that mean? You're not my son. Silence. I mean, I raised you. I love you. But you're not mine. George brought you, said he found you by the river. What happened to my real parents? He swallowed. George got hungry. That's all you need to know. I asked one more thing. How did you live with him? We moved town to town, kept him fed, but it was never enough. I was 16 when we settled in Lowdell. A month later, he brought you. I escaped with you. He stayed. For 18 years. Now I live with that truth. Some nights, I wake up tasting ash and smoke. I hear news reports, missing animals, missing people. I lock the windows. The guilt eats me alive. Those kids, I knew. I could have stopped it, but I was scared, and that, like the nightmares, will haunt me forever.